left. So you read it, so then I would say on the left side, there is a bulge at 12:30. Everybody got that? Because that's how you're going to be interpreting. That's how you're going to be writing. Everybody with me now? Everybody with the same? Good? Okay. So then on the dorsal ventral, if you saw a bulge between 9 and 11 with this film, you can say right atrial enlargement. So your radiographic diagnosis would be right atrial enlargement. Your differentials would be whatever, no, you can't see hemangio, you would say a right atrial mass, right? Okay, everybody follow me? You would say a right atrial mass. What else causes right atrial enlargement? Valvular tricuspid insufficiency. Okay, so then you continue from that point. If you say right atrial mass, then I would say, well, what's a common mass in the right atrium? Do not skip a step. Everybody follow me? Do not skip a step. Your radiographic diagnosis would be right atrial enlargement. Underneath that, you would say right atrial mass, tricuspid insufficiency, etc. You should have at least 3 differentials in your head. Alrighty? And then what is your next step after that? Echo. And if there's a right atrial mass, then they will go from there from either surgical and get a biopsy of that. If it's tricuspid, then they move on to another diagnosis and treatment. Okay, so this is an angiogram. You would see the very similar finding if you did echo. Because on echo, you would see the turbulence of the blood flow, and you would see a mass, and you would see the fibrated edges of the mass on echo. But this is a non-selective angiogram where contrast was injected into the carotid. It's a water-soluble, contrast iodinated, and so you see contrast material in the cranial vena cava. And look, you see then a filling defect, because why would the contrast enter the right atrium and then not fill that area? So that's a space-occupying lesion, and we refer to it as a right atrial mass. And then you would say more likely, a more common mass in the right atrium would be hemangiosarcoma. Now, let's just say that is what actually is the diagnosis. Where do we go next? So there's a mass in the right atrium. It's fibrated. Where should we go next on this page? We confirmed it by echo. We did. Let's say they did pass. No, but okay. Let's do something before they do that. We're gonna ultrasound the spleen. Why is that? And there's a common location for that particular mass, if you're thinking that particular mass. And then so your next step would then, before they move forward with the thorax, then they would request an ultrasound. You would, as the clinician, would ask for an ultrasound of the abdomen. Okay. Caudal waste. Loss of caudal cardiac waste. So first of all, you need to determine what forms the caudal cardiac waste. It is formed by the pulmonary veins as they enter into the left atrium. So then you see this straight margin of the caudal margin of the heart. Then you would say, well, what lives there? Whatever lives there, you can give it any differential that fits. So you could have pulmonary veins, enlargement of the pulmonary veins, enlargement of the left atrium, and sometimes enlargement of the left ventricle, because the left ventricle is located right ventral to the left atrium. So if there was something, okay, so for example, the most common cause of loss of caudal cardiac waste is the left atrium. And the most common condition that we see with that is mitral valvular disease. Mitral valvular disease. And then a common cause of mitral valvular disease is mitral regurgitation or mitral insufficiency. But that's not the only cause. You can have mitral stenosis. So remember, see how we're doing your differentials based on one general diagnosis. So you would say mitral valvular disease, and then give you some differentials under that. Okay, good. Everybody following me? Yay. And the pulmonary veins would enlarge secondary to that, wouldn't it? Because if there is a problem with the blood exiting from the left atrium, where it's going to back up, right? And so the veins then will become enlarged as well. So if you look at a dorsal ventral view, then you will look at the veins, which are located where? Medial or lateral on the DV? When I look at the DV, because I know the veins, because you're not going to measure them here, are you? You can measure them on the lateral, but let's just say that we have one like this case where you don't see the veins. Because if you did a lateral view, so let me ask you that question. If you did a lateral view, this is a lateral view, and you got loss of caudal cardiac waste, and you want to know if the veins are enlarged. So when I look at the lateral projection, can you see a vessel, a lucency in a vessel?
Yes.
A vessel, a lucency in a vessel. Great. Okay. Which one is vein? Okay, what's bottom? Bottom of the pit? Bottom of the what?
Ventral.
The ventral one. Please don't say bottom, because I don't know what a bottom is. Okay, so it is the vessel that is ventral, or you can say ventral to the airway. So if you look there, the vein is enlarged. Great. Then wouldn't that fit? Yes. But it doesn't have to be enlarged. And then from that point, you look at the dorsal ventral. Now, you have two vessels, one lateral and one medial. Am I going to look at the one lateral, or am I going to look at the one medial?
Lateral.
I'm going to look at the one lateral. I'm looking at the one medial. Which one now? Because if you look at the wrong one, I'm going to give you a wrong diagnosis. Am I looking to the one lateral or the one medial? Who else said medial? Oh, don't be shy. Medial people. Okay, everybody else saying lateral. Hands up, lateral. Oh, you got to commit. Oh, you don't commit. Okay, so, all right, so for everybody, for people who said medial, can you stand, please? That means you're saying lateral. Now remember,